Now, since the Dangote Petroleum Refinery began operations, tensions between the regulator and refinery have played out in public. You can trace this back to comments from Farouk Ahmed, Chief Executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, that sparked criticisms and backlash. In mid-2024, Ahmed publicly questioned the quality of products from Dangote Refinery. He said diesels and other outputs from the facility had high sulfur content, far above West African standards and thus inferior to imported fuel. He argued Nigeria cannot depend solely on the refinery and that relying on it could risk energy security or a monopoly.
Dangote Refinery is still in the pre-commissioning stage. It has not been licensed yet. We haven't licensed them yet. They are still in pre-commissioning. I think they are about 45% completion rather. So we cannot rely heavily on one refinery to feed the nation, because the Dangote is requesting that we should suspend or stop all importation of petroleum products, especially AGO and jet fuel, and direct all marketers to the refinery.
I don't want to get distracted. I want to focus on the problem, to solve the problem. And luckily, we have gone a long way in trying to resolve the issue, because if you go around Lagos now and around Abuja, everywhere you see petroleum being sold. So actually, it's a very limited quantity that slipped into the system. So it's not really, I'm not to give any excuses, but it's not really that much volume that went in the system.
In the meantime, the House of Representatives joins committees on petroleum resources have stepped into the ongoing dispute between Dangote Refinery and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, led by Honorable Ikenga Imu Ugochinyere and Honorable Henry Okoge. The committees have summoned Alhaji Aliko Dangote and NMDPRA leadership to appear before them over allegations and counter-allegations in the downstream sector. The lawmakers have also directed both parties to halt media comments while the investigation is ongoing, assuring that the matter will be resolved within days. The committees will examine issues relating to import licenses, local refining capacity, and regulatory oversight, stressing that the investigation is in the national interest.
We hear that necessitated the emergency meeting was the growing tension that has returned back in the downstream sector as a result of the concerns raised by Alhaji Aliko Dangote of the Dangote Refinery and the NMDPRA. These issues, for as long as the committee is concerned, is coming at a time where the committee is guiding jealously the stability that we have achieved in the downstream petroleum sector. So the committees met today and agreed to intervene in the matter once again towards finding sustainable solutions. And we can only find sustainable solution when we identify the critical issues that is leading to this tension that has returned. And that is why the committee resolved to write communication to Alhaji Aliko Dangote and also the NMDPRA authority chief to meet with the committee to be able to give us details and insights into what are the underlying issues that is leading to these allegations and counter-allegations. Because the committee has the capacity to wade into this matter and find solutions once and for all to these issues.
And joining us via Zoom to discuss this is an energy expert, Engineer Yabagi Sani. Good evening. It's good to have you on the program.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Now, what do you make, or what would I say, what is your understanding of Dangote's public spot with the head of a regulatory agency that oversees his operations?
Well, I believe this goes beyond a personal feud. It's not really something between Dangote and Farouk, the head of the agency. It is critically policy and governance conflict about Nigeria's energy future. And Nigerians should really look at it from that perspective. It's about the policy and the governance, the conflict. At its core, there are questions about crude oil supply, pricing, regulation, competition, and whether Nigeria is serious about domestic refining or we are still addicted to imports. If this issue is about building capacity, for domestic supply of petroleum products to Nigeria, I think it wouldn't take this long before government as a regulator, government as a policy maker, to wade into this issue. In fact, we shouldn't have allowed it to go to the lengths it has gotten to. I'm glad you mentioned what happened in 2024 when the same Farouk came out to say that the product coming out of Dangote Refinery is substandard. It was something that I found very, very unbecoming of a Nigerian that is expected to build, to encourage, value addition, especially in that sector of the economy, where we've been exporting jobs to other climes and then, improvising our own people here. So, and then you look at the issue of sleaze in that industry. This is something, it's a common knowledge. This is something that is known to most people, watchers of the industry. If you look at the way the oil and gas sector has been run in this country, believe you me, I'm glad that Dangote is coming out very strongly to make to force the security agencies and especially the corruption agencies like EFCC, ICPC, to step up to the plate and do what they're supposed to do. Because today is Farouk. Believe you me, tomorrow, if you go into any of those regulatory agencies in that sector of the economy, you will find exactly what Dangote say about the midstream and downstream regulatory agency, happening. They are just taking Nigeria for a ride, So issue of corruption is so endemic in that sector of the economy. And the president is aware. He knows because he's very familiar with that sector of the economy. And I think time has come for us to secure the future of this country, especially as far as energy is concerned. We shouldn't allow few people to just take the country for granted, for a ride, and then for their own personal, benefits, like Dangote has mentioned. Somebody is spending for over $5 million, to train his children, when his own village, millions of children are looking for even how they can secure the minimum, in terms of education. And one individual here, is doing this unholy thing. So I think it is about policy, it's about governance, it's also much about the National Assembly, because National Assembly, we have seen what has happened in the past. I remember the Farouk allowance issue with when they investigated the issue of subsidy and what have you. What happened at the end of the day? You got more problems than solution. So it is about the government. It's about the agencies that are supposed to look after the economy of this country, stepping up to the plate, investigate this issue, because somebody like Aliko Dangote would not come out. He's not a loose person that will just come and make a claim that is not true. So we shouldn't just sweep it under the carpet. And National Assembly should not come and say they shouldn't talk about this anymore again. So we still remember what happened during the subsidy investigation, which National Assembly said they were investigating. And like I said, you got more obscurity, in the matter than even when it started. What happened actually at the end of the day? The corruption there became more endemic than it was. So they should allow the agencies to do their work. We don't want National Assembly. National Assembly should have stepped in long time ago. What has they been doing? They're supposed to engage in oversight functions. During the oversight functions, they should have asked questions, these kind of pointing questions. Where are you not allowing the domestic refineries to receive, crude oil, and then to be able to supply this product domestically? Because when we supply crude oil, when we supply petroleum product domestically using our own crude oil, and like Dangote is doing, buying from outside, believe you me, That is the fastest way we can build the economy of this country. But what these regulatory agencies are doing, the officers there are doing, is turning our commonwealth to their own selfish, interest, and then, taking advantage of the wealth that God has given to this country. So I think we shouldn't, National Assembly should stay away from this. This is not oversight function. This is a kind of intervention that, from the past record, I'm not sure their own coming in will solve this problem. They should allow their agencies are supposed to do their work. The government is there. The executive should do what they're supposed to do, because they are the ones that are supposed to ensure that there's good governance. The policies are implemented the way they're supposed to implement it. What we are witnessing today is a situation where people are just, taking advantage of their positions and then making Nigeria to become more and more poor in terms of how we take advantage of what God has given to us. The international community is watching, believe you me. The investors are watching what we are doing with the $20 billion investment. This is not something that is not an ordinary investment. The whole world is looking at what we are doing to Dangote, and you are scaring away foreign investment. It will not come. And in spite of the effort by the president, going all over the place, going to the visiting. Look at your own national who has sunk in this amount of money, and look at the how you are playing with the man's investments. You want to frustrate him. So, and you want me, that I'm not even your citizen, to come up to put my money in your country. They'll only come and then steal out of our wealth. And that's why you have crude oil theft is thriving. In spite of the regulatory agency, you have their NEPRC. What are they doing? Crude oil theft is still going on, and they won't do anything. So this is why I asked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to please wake up and do what is the needful, because he knows what to do. This is not, he's not a novice as far as this industry is concerned. From his salad days, when he finished school, he worked with ExxonMobil as their accountant. I mean, the financial controller or something like that. So he knows everything about this industry, and he should please help this country. God has brought him this time around, and this is the time that I think we should take advantage of what God has given to us as far as crude oil and gas is concerned.
Okay, thank you very much, Yabagi Isani, for that detailed analysis of the situation on ground. I guess we have to leave it there for now. We would speak to you some other time.